Hi guys, this is Secrets and Rises of the Philippines, and for today's video, we will be talking about something that foreigners have always been curious about. How do Filipino men actually feel about foreigners dating Filipinas? Do they feel threatened? Do they think foreigners are stealing Filipinas from them? Or do they simply not care at all? You'll be surprised at what I found out after speaking with several Filipino men myself. So stay with me till the end because I promise this will give you a very raw and honest perspective straight from the ground. You see, I've been asked this question so many times. Heart, what do Filipino men really think about foreigners dating Filipinas? Some of you have probably wondered if local guys secretly hate it, or maybe if they feel like Filipinas are being taken away from them. But after hearing real stories and opinions from Filipino men, I realized the truth is not what most people assume. Are Filipino men feel threatened by foreigners? First of all, no, they don't feel threatened. Most Filipino men I've talked to said the same thing. Why would we be threatened? Not all Filipinas even want to date foreigners. And that's true. There are millions of Filipinas out there who still prefer dating and marrying Filipino men. And that's their personal preference. Foreigners sometimes think that every Filipina dreams of marrying a foreign man. But that's far from reality. Many Filipinas still choose local men because of comfort, shared culture, and familiarity. Even if they find foreigners interesting, they still know they have a place in the dating scene here in the Philippines. So no, Filipino men don't really see it as a threat. So why do some Filipinas prefer Filipino men? Let's be honest. Love is easier when you share the same background. Many Filipinas would rather date Filipinos because they speak the same language, eat the same food, and understand the same humor. Even with that, there are already small misunderstandings sometimes. So they wonder, what more if I dated someone from a totally different culture? So to them, staying within their culture feels more natural and safe. That's why Filipino men don't really think foreigners are taking away Filipinas because these Filipinas make their own choices. They date who they connect best, whether that's a local or a foreigner. Now, are Filipinas being stolen? Now, let's address this one directly. Some foreigners think that Filipinos feel like Filipinas are being stolen. But the truth is, no one is being stolen. Filipinas are adults. They're mature enough to decide who they want to be with. They don't need anyone to dictate their love life. If a Filipina chooses a foreigner, that's her decision. If she prefers a Filipino man, that's also her decision. So for most Filipino men, it's not a question of being stolen. It's a question of respecting women's choices. That's one thing I really admire about many Filipino men. Even if they don't always understand why a Filipino would date a foreigner, they still respect it. Now here's where things get really interesting. Beauty standards. Most Filipino men are attracted to Filipinas who are mestiza, chinita, or fair-skinned. That's part of our colonial mentality that still lingers today. Meanwhile, many foreigners are attracted to morenas, brown-skinned Filipinas, petite with long hair, the ones they describe as having exotic beauty. So think about it. You and Filipino men often have completely different preferences. That's another reason why local men don't feel like they're in a competition with foreigners. The type of Filipina you like might not even be the type they're usually attracted to. It's like you're playing in different leagues, both chasing love, but with different ideas of beauty. Of course, we can't ignore the reality. Some Filipino men do feel insecure, especially when it comes to finances. Foreigners are often seen as more financially stable, more secure, and more ready to provide. That's where some men can feel inferior. Not because they hate foreigners, but because they know they can always compete in terms of material things. But here's the honest truth. Most Filipino men, they really don't care. They live their own lives, focus on their families, and respect Filipinos' choices. You won't hear most of them complaining about foreigners dating Filipinas. They just let people be happy with whoever they choose. The only area where some feel a little insecure is in financial stability. But again, most simply respect the relationship choices that Filipinas make. So if you're a foreigner dating a Filipina, don't overthink what local men think of you. As long as you respect the culture, act decently, and treat your Filipino well, you'll be respected in return. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think Filipino men should feel bothered when foreigners date Filipinas? Or do you agree that love should never feel like a competition? I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And by the way, I also created another video where I answered Western women's accusations that Filipinos are stealing their men. If you haven't watched that yet, go check it out here. It will give you my full perspective on that issue and might just change how you see the whole conversation about love and dating across cultures. Once again, this is Heart Secrets and Horizons of the Philippines. See you in the next video.